I most regularly paint in the studio, but obviously I have to go out to get ideas, and I tend to go out sketching and drawing. Probably once every 2 weeks I'll go out deliberately to find something, but a lot of the time I find subjects when I'm not expecting to, when I'm not looking. But the actual painting of the finished paintings, that all happens in the studio, from drawings and photographs. I come in here into the studio usually about 9 o'clock, and but I don't start immediately. I'll fiddle around, washing brushes, pretending to work, but not really, you know, I'm getting into the right sort of frame of mind. And I probably usually get stuck into the painting about 10 o'clock, and then I'll work right through. If I remember, I'll break for lunch, but I don't always. But I'm constantly making coffee and tea through the day. That keeps me going. And then I'll probably work on until about 6. For source material, I tend to use a mixture of drawing and photography. I always take photographs, and I work from photographs. But in order to see things, if I'm going to paint them, I also need to draw them. But lately I've been working from an image on a screen, which seems to be different. You get different quality of colour and light, but it's still not the same as the real thing. And you know, and that drawing, the drawing part of it, is fixing the real thing in your mind. My favourite medium is watercolour. That's what I started with, you know, when I was a youngster. When my grandfather gave me his watercolour box when I was about 14 years old. I think, especially with watercolour, you have to plan very carefully and quite slowly, and then you have to paint really quite fast and almost carelessly. It sounds wrong, but that's basically what I do. Do a lot of planning and then paint fairly quickly in between those long planning times. I think there are too many influences to mention, really. I mean, any time that I look at a painting, because I do love paintings and going to see painting, every time I look at something, I'm looking to see if there's anything I can take from it. My palette is fairly limited. I tend to use either Winsor blue or a cobalt blue, or a mix of the two. For the reds, I really like cadmium red, but I don't use it very much, and I use alizarin crimson a lot. And for the yellows, I tend to use the cadmiums, and I use a cadmium light and a cadmium medium. But I also have a lot of the earth colours. I'm a big fan of earth colours, ochres and umbers and all of those. I think the markers are brilliant for sketching. Sketching in the field, they're excellent. The sticks are, I think, would be ideal for painters who maybe work in a slightly freer way than I do. It's always when you try different materials, when you use different methods, you learn new things. With the painting that I'm working on at the moment, I use the sticks to get some extra granulation into part of the water area. But again, I found I think you need practice with all of these new materials in order to find out their capabilities and in order to find out how you can control them. I was told once that you should always buy the best paint that you can afford, And always buy the best brushes that you can afford. With the paper, you have to find the paper that suits you. If I can afford them. And I even have a couple of Winsor & Newton Series 7 brushes.